Hey, we got a new Survive the Horde modifier, Slow Burn. It's basically acid pools, plus when the enemies hit you, you get slowed down. That's pretty much it. It's slow and it burns. So what I'm going to be running today is kind of a fun idea, supercharged traps. And this is a very popular series on my channel. I'll link all 3 parts down below, but as of this video going live, the part 3 is like a couple weeks away from being public. It'll be a private link for a while, but you should check it out if you're watching this in the future because all 3 parts are super fun. It basically showcases me trapping a mission, but we're using the Supercharged Traps team perk, which buffs the traps by up to 42.5%. You might note, I have Plasma Arc in support. I am a Cyberclops hater. That's not accurate. I sound that way a lot because it's a very, very popular hero. Lots of people like Cyberclops because they think it makes their Xenon bow super strong. They think it's really, really, really good for anything energy related. It's mediocre. 20% of the time, you'll do a little bit of extra damage. It's really not as impressive as a lot of people seem to think. And I fight that a lot. But he does work with sealing electric fields. So energy sealing electric fields will arc with Cyberclops. And I believe that applies to energy wall dynamos and energy-based traps in general. So I figured it would be fun to just put him in support and, I don't know, see if that makes a difference or not. Probably won't matter because Horde mode in our current iteration of the game is basically a slow grind, getting to a 144 player. Me and my friends tend to run 164 players very regularly, so Horde mode is not a challenge. At people at our power level, it is simply not an issue. But I think it'll be fun anyway, just to run traps, and that's what I'm doing. So Mega Base will cover the biggest area. All the traps under that base will be bonused. We got Frozen Castle to slow enemies down. Theoretically, oh yeah, Ben's war cry. Theoretically, if they're walking slower in the structure, then they'll spend 15% longer in the traps. Plasma Arc has already been explained. Lofty Architecture will just make whatever builds that aren't covered by a Walrus lead. I think she or Fatgiver, one of those two is running base Kyle in the lead. Whichever their bases don't cover, mine will do a little bit of extra. Same thing with power modulation. I think she says she wants to run Ice King. So if nobody's running power base in the lead, then that'll be in support. And then Electrified Floors will be an inconsequential amount of damage, but I don't know. It's free damage. Maybe that energy will arc. I'm actually personally curious. I might. The person that I replaced for Cyberclops was in fact Electropulse Penny, because fully contained is, again, that 15 base damage is basically nothing. All right, this is just a build that needs to be mostly constructors because Supercharged Traps only activates from constructors. I do believe Plasma Arc, if you take 1/5 of the 58%, you get about 11.5% perceived extra damage from Cyberclops, so I think that offsets the 3% that he's losing from us. We'll see, the 8.5%, so it's like a 3% bonus. I hope it works out. That's basically all I'm saying about that. So yeah, I'm gonna actually double check my traps real quick before we hop in. Zapple Max is energy, and then I've always got my multiple electric fields, so well, let's hop in game, and I'm probably gonna pause until we are actually starting. All right, trapped under a fence because I was recording. Here we go. So our health meter is telling me we're starting in the northeast, and I guess we'll just head over there now. So because we have kind of a quieter voice chat today, I might be able to pause in between recordings. Most of my new modifier videos have always been like an hour long just to show the whole experience. Thank you, Laurie. And that's maybe not totally necessary for a mode that's so slow. My teammates know I'm making a video and are supportive of that and are just dropping me everything. The idea is that with this build, I should be able to just do all the trapping so I can show you guys kind of what we do. And this is actually the build that gets set up pretty much every time. Anybody who plays public games or has higher level friends, I'd put the walls up here, but I don't want to mess with a Walry, has seen this build. I didn't. I specifically did not build to block you. See? You got all the sight you need. Oh, you need this over here. Hold on. There we go. I got you. How about that, huh? Look at that. Me being a solid teammate. I usually grief my team out of boredom, but today I'm being super respectful because I don't want to.
Oh, that's a first.
All right. You know what? That's what you get. Calling me out for my shitty behavior. I'm just going to act out. That's what I'm going to do. So this is the same build. I thought you weren't going to talk during this recording, and now you're making me laugh. So this is the same build you see all the time. If I had traps, I'd be putting wall darts here, and it's funny. So because my team pooled all the resources, I want to craft traps, and I'm going to do it, but I have to stress that if you're playing Horde mode, you probably don't need to be building traps this early. It is really unnecessary. The enemies are not going to take that much work to kill. And as we rotate around the different base locations, enemies will have higher health later on in the different waves, and the traps that I put down right here might not get utilized as much, but I think it's pretty safe to just put wall darts here. A lot of people also like to put floor launchers here to bounce enemies back. I've never liked doing that. Personally speaking, this is going to be Beast's trap guide. This is not the ultimate trap guide. I'm not some wizard who never ever fails a mission, but I prefer to just get tar pits down here. Stop them in their tracks, let them die from the traps around, and that's what these wall darts are partially for. Basically stop the enemies. If the enemies are charging, most of the time the only enemy here is going to be like a smasher, and that's an instance where your teammates are just going to have to be the ones to kill the smasher. It's not really going to matter from there, but this first wave is actually going to involve very little actual trap kills from me. It's mostly just going to be enemies dying to drones, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. But if I can put down a couple electric fields here... Oh, that was a screw up on my part. This will probably break over time. Maybe. 121 durability is going to last a while. Archer, do you have your max durability squads?
I never not have them.
He never not have them. So this is the most durability that a single durability perk electric field can have. Can electric field have multiple durability perks?
Yeah.
God, you would never want that, but kind of an interesting concept. So basically, when it zaps, it should 20% of the time chain to an extra target. I have never paid so close attention to an electric field that I know how much it zaps, but I don't know. I'm curious if it'll help at all. Maybe Cyberclops will just make the trap even better. Now, it's funny, that second one might not be useless. It was a total mistake. It was absolutely not necessary for me to do that, but or intended, I should say. But it might hit a taker later on, so there is that. But, oh yeah, I always have to use my drones. This happens every single time. If you guys want to see the entire Horde playlist, I have it linked in every description for my Horde videos. I have a whole playlist for all the different Horde stuff. Oh yeah! Cyberclops has its own little arcing look. Okay, so check this out. It actually applies to the drone. This is somebody who almost never uses Cyberclops. You can see it's an abysmal amount of extra damage, but it is there. You can actually see it zapping to the other enemies. Now, I keep saying, in all my Horde mode games, I always forget to throw my drones because the time in between waves is fairly significant. It's actually like 2.5 minutes or so, which is pretty much how long it takes for your drone to come back. So you pretty much get a free drone every wave. You should never not be throwing your drones down. It's highly recommended. And this is what I was saying earlier. As somebody trying to make a trap video, I want to place traps down right now, but it's just completely unnecessary. These are non-elemental zombies, no fatties, no mist monsters, just easy death. This one electric field is just locking down this entire thing. My teammates are just shooting stuff as they should, and it's just working from there. And I think I saw that. Did you guys... Okay, here, actually, let's do this. Did you guys see Thora actually doing something? So when it hits an enemy, I think that was Cyberclops zapping to another target. It's really hard to note it. Yeah, is that what happened? Did they take energy damage from Thora and then zap with Cyberclops, or is it just the same effect?
That happens. Any Cyberclops activates with any energy damage.
That's my understanding, and I think it's kind of a neat perk. It's, again, it is not a lot of damage. I am truly not a Cyberclops supporter, but that's neat. You know, it's a little bit of extra damage. It's not a lot, but it's something, I guess. Now, I am sacrificing a constructor in support, so I am doing less trap damage because of Cyberclops, which... That's why I was saying earlier, if on average he's giving an 11.5% bonus, well, I'm losing 8.5 to have him on board. So I guess that's a 3% damage win, but I still don't like it. Did we get both of our crates right here? Or just the one?
No, one's up there.
Wow.
Oh, we got them in the circle.
Yeah, they're right on top of us. That's super convenient. So once we open that, we'll have some more stuff. And again, I don't really know what's worth putting down. Now I'm putting down wood just because it's cheap and builds quickly, and this stuff will get broken pretty much no matter what, which creates a scenario where I don't even want to put down metal because I'm just fighting the inevitable. Propanes are going to blow this up, and I don't really want to try and stop that because it's just a losing battle. So I guess we could put like maxed out metal, and with a Walry's base Kyle in the lead and my support perks with Nox, that might win over time, but most enemies aren't specifically attacking the floor. It's just propane. So some extra wood on the floor will just be extra Thora damage, which, I don't know, free damage. Why not? We get more wood than we need, and that's a common thing. Because those crates we were just collecting every game, I've played enough Horde to know that you get more than enough materials, and I don't know that it's really gonna matter. I think I'm overthinking something very simple here. So now that I've got that down, what?
I need to steal 2 twine from someone.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not using a weapon right away. Here's 5 twine. Yeah, don't say I never spoiled you. So, this is an interesting corner. I've learned enough from playing Horde mode to know that they're pretty much... let's just do this. It's kind of a conservative way to just funnel. I've been doing this a lot in 160s as well. I really, really like doing this kind of thing. Just a nice little box with a floor on top so that you can stand on top of it. The enemies should just casually ignore this and go around it. Smashers will run right through. It happens. You can't really stop smashers, but what we should be able to do is maybe put traps in and around here. So I can just put metal, which is overkill, and then just put some corner electric fields like that. I really want to put it over the spawns, but that's inefficient. That's really, really greedy. It's not really necessary. Let the enemies come to you, group up, and you can actually see that sort of cyan. So if like the normal damage is sort of like a blue or light blue, that extra cyan is coming from Cyberclops. It's not often, but it is there. And I'm trying to think of a good way to see that. I think this corner is right, but Iwalri's big blue bubble is really not in my way here. I'm actually going to set up another corner over here regardless. So let's do...
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, your big blue bubble is just, you know, maybe not the best for the video, but always very much appreciated. Let's do this over here. There we go. And then just build up some extra defense for that. Make sure they're all actually connected by Mega Base, which they should be. Well, they're glowing, so I assume it's Mega Base, but I can actually connect it. Honestly, up here is probably fine. Yeah, my base is actually the one in the direct middle below that top base, and it should be in range. I'm assuming it is, but again, like I said in the beginning of this video, I am vastly over-preparing for what is a fundamentally unchallenging game. And, oh, yeah, I saw that energy arc from Thora. That's kind of weird. It's amazing how long I went without knowing that. It's kind of neat. It makes me want to run Cyberclops in the lead. Unfortunately, if I ran Cyberclops in the lead, I wouldn't have supercharged traps. So it's kind of a tricky thing, but it is what it is. It is what it is. First time ever tuning into my stream. Usually watch YouTube videos. I want to ask, how much have you ever considered doing a video or two of endurance? I am not an endurance fan. You know what? I'm saying this on a YouTube recording just so people know. I ran Twine Endurance once. We beat it before I thought we were ready. It was so easy that I immediately lost interest permanently. Endurance is really not my kind of thing. I don't like standing around for 2 or 3 hours, and I'm not interested in AFK endurance because I don't feel the need to actually do that. So where is our next wave? It looks like it's just in the northeast. Like the circle's expanding so we can go get those balloons, but it looks like we're just defending the same objective. All right, I'll go out to the southwest and go take care of that. So I've never had an interest in endurance, and I'm at a point where even if I got an interest in endurance, I would be so far behind the metas, so far in the dark in terms of like the best thing to do in all situations. And I've had a lot of very negative interactions with people in the endurance community. A lot of arrogance, a lot of cockiness, a lot of very rude things to share. Like in my trap guide series where I showed how to trap the 160s, it was usually the endurance guys who had the most critique, but like not in a constructive way, but more in like a Beasted is an idiot and doesn't know what he's talking about kind of way. And it really put me off. I was already not interested in endurance, but like the community is not welcoming me. And so for a lot of reasons, I just have no interest in endurance whatsoever. So yeah, that's the long and the short of it right there. I don't wanna. It's about as simple as that. So I'm gonna back that up with some wall darts, and I kind of want to get that on the other sides as well. I'll craft 8 even though I only need 6. Were those some defenders? Oh right, yeah. Pillars. I don't have my Xenon bow, but I do now. It's weird when I'm not using a weapon build. I find myself having more materials than I thought I needed. Because I always I'm always very aware of my material count when I need my weapon on wave 1 and 2. And wave 3 is usually when you can craft pretty much whatever you want. So in this case, I wasn't even thinking about it, and now I'm good to go. Of course, you want to use a Xenon bow because it's super powerful for these. I think what's happening is the model of these crystals is kind of hollow. So the Xenon bow seems to hit it twice. If you pay attention, you'll see that there's actually 2 damage numbers when you hit it. And here, look. No, that went through an enemy, but it kind of just hits it twice and breaks it very, very fast. So, yeah. I'm going to run over to the next area, and then I'll unpause when we get there. Hey, what we were saying we could do is just as much with the vacuum tube bow. She hypothesizes... Yeah. You want to say it? Want to repeat it? Or... She hypothesizes that the bows just do more damage. I don't know what the bug is, though. Maybe that's it? Because, like, clearly one-shotting those crystals cannot possibly be... how easy they intended that to be, but it is. It's very strong, so I don't really know. I'm gonna set up my...
You could give it a try.
You want to put that down one?
Down what?
Yeah, I want my base to spread out over the top and then go down.
Okay.
Because if you're just defending the objective walls, yeah, I want that extra up. And then I guess I can just build the ring, because... Oh, not this one. Because I already know that I'm going to be building traps along this edge, and Facular already knows. So
There's build mats down here.
Oh, hell yeah. Archer. Where is here?
Me.
Yeah, I just could not see you right away. Okay, alright. Get that down. Oh, if I stand out here, I won't actually... Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah, hell yeah. It's kind of nice with Archer's Survivor Squad. So I have the full 121 durability on these things. They last forever. So apparently, when you already
That was
have...
a grind getting all legendary trap durabilities.
Alright, Archer, give it to me straight. Was it worth it?
Yeah, the only time I ever have to use Mina, or Harper or Mina, Machinist, or worry about durability is in Ventures. I don't have to worry about durability ever again in a normal game.
See, I don't have max durability Survivor Squads, and I already never worry about it. What do you say to that?
I don't know. I've used a lot of traps, so... I use a lot of traps, and if I can have more perks that do damage and less perks for...
Oh, you don't even use a durability perk. Although I don't think there is a damage perk down there.
I do use durability on the majority of them because of, you know,
What?
the elephant in the room, Ventures.
Oh, really? Well, because I could... Well, like I said, there's no damage perk down there anyway. You're just healing builds or repairing builds, which... you don't need that. See, this is what happens, alright? I don't care about a lot of these things. Not because I'm lazy, but because it just works either way, you know? It's so hard to really invest in this stuff when it just kind of makes no difference. Gotta make sure my base is actually connected. Because, like, if I don't... Look at how integral this is. If I don't put this floor here, then my base is going... my base is going down 1, over 1... Down 1 again, over here, 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 here. Like, this little cross-section here is very important. Hold on, Archer. You can keep it. You just wall that off. They'll ignore it. I have 1 metal. Wow. I didn't know I could have 1 metal.
Metal?
Apparently. I have none. I don't know how many the balloons at the end give me. Oh, God, I always forget my drones! Every time!
I'll give you... Here. Come.
You're spoiling me. I'm coming over. I'm coming. I'm here. I came already. I came for you. Alright. 346 metal. Now, I'd upgrade these ceiling traps, but they don't really get hit by anything. I think what I really want to do is upgrade the base, because smashers will go right through it. Alright, so we're weak on this side. Nice. That's what I recommend people doing in Endurance, where if you end up taking damage anywhere, or losing walls or something, you should always reinforce it. And in this case, I don't have an easy solution because I don't have any wall dynamos. I'm trying to be clean. I'm just gonna put this here for next time. I don't have any wall dynamos. What do I need for that? Oh, I don't have any nuts and bolts. Yeah, that would figure because I crafted them all into steel electric fields. Okay. So when they get through this defense, I'll have to set this up later, but I'm thinking traps up there underneath the cave. We'll worry about that another time. I think it's random which you go to every time, so if we find ourselves in that southeast corner again, then I'll take care of it then. I'm gonna mute until we or pause until we get to the next events.
Here.
All right. He's saying ironically the one video I did make on endurance got him into endurance. Yeah, honestly, okay. The one way I beat endurance is like I said, I just built until we stopped taking damage. Realistically, that worked for me, and I feel like that's exactly what you should always do. If you have multiple chances, I should say. Like in a normal mission, all right, you might want to play it safe and smart, but in this case, I wasn't really worried about enemies getting through the wall because my teammates will cover it. Archer's our big DPS player. He won't let us lose. Are you using vacuum tubo or xenon?
Both.
Oh, of course. Stealing my idea.
There's build mats right here. I'm waiting till I get my bear, and then I'll just start dropping every material I pick up.
Alright, so I know this area will break from spawns if I put a wall there. Because again, I have played Endurance, what is this, Horde before, and yeah, I'm trying to say I've played it before, but I'm just forgetting the name of the game as I'm talking. I'm actually going to connect it diagonally just like that. This section down here is my favorite to trap. There are so many spawn points right down here, and covering them like that is so easy. Let's also do that, and we can also put like floor freeze, I guess, but that's not terribly necessary. A lot of smashers like to spawn back here as well. Have you guys memorized the crystal waves?
Yes.
Is it the next one?
Yes.
So am I trapping a crystal wave?
Oh, right now.
No, you said it was the next one.
No.
Mm-hmm.
The one after.
Mm-hmm. Scammed.
What scam?
Scammed.
I saw wave 5, and you said next one, and I said, yeah.
Oh, you mean wave 6.
Yeah.
All right.
3, 6, 9.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Ah! Propanes are blowing my stuff up. So this is where I can actually participate in the mission a little bit. No, I didn't intend to use a Xenon bow for combat, but I have it for crystals, so I might as well just do it. Yeah, Baggy Scissors is recommending we just let one objective die, because technically you can win Horde with only one alive, but that's boring. That's the kind of thing gamers do when they don't know how to play. Yeah, we gotta give ourselves a challenge rotating between these. That's the way to do things, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
breaking one objective, you'd get like less XP. That's about it.
Yeah. I was too late to pickaxe that. But this is just the starting area. Well, I mean, it's not. I'm trying to say like the harder levels come later, but I've made many comments so far about the harder levels not existing. But it should be pretty easy, with a couple of drones down periodically. The traps are really kicking into effect here. They're just making everything super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Just want to make sure I take care of the propanes, because they are really bad. Propanes are like the one thing that can threaten us at this point. They can break the traps and be an annoyance, but other than that, it's not a big deal. Okay, so even though this is a crystal wave, I do kind of want to prep this, and I think I'm going to do that in this way. So like I said, I wanted to build in this area here, and I wanted to get ceiling traps up there, but I'm running out of electric fields. That's okay. Just
I'm
crafting
about
this
to
in.
drop all my trap mats on you.
Oh, Archer, you are just...
I got my Baron, so
You were just taking care of... Oh, you got what you need, so you're set.
I'm fine.
So I'm having a tough time because this isn't going to be connected to the base, but it's kind of okay. It's really not a big deal. I'm probably going to worry about that later because, like I said, it's a crystal wave, so everything's going to die right away anyway, so we're just going to cut to that point. Alright, and what we said vacuum tubo does just as well. 600k, 800k with a crit. Yeah, seems like they do a ton of damage no matter what. Huh. Okay, well, easy wave. Alright, so we're here a bit early, but before the mission starts, I want to just put down a bunch of floor spikes. It shouldn't be critical to the mission defense, but I don't know. Figured they'd be fun. I'll show the perks on these in a second, actually. I'm just going to do a ring of these because I realized I just put them down over there and they were disappearing way too fast. But the idea is that the damage from these is negligible. Oh, well, yeah, the perks. So basically just a crippled. It's not that important, but this should slow them down. Now, typically when an enemy gets pricked by this floor spike, they will make it about 2 tiles before the snare runs out. But having multiple of these is better effectiveness against hordes of enemies. And as this base grows out 1 tile at a time, it is going to be not something normal enemies can overcome. So that's where I'll put like maybe just brick here, an extra reinforcement there. We need to get some up close actually in case a smasher gets through. I always find that very awkward when a smasher gets in and then nothing is actually attacking it. So we'll just get a couple out just like that. And then anything that even gets remotely close to our base will start getting hit by electric fields and get taken care of there. And then wall darts, I think we're fine. I don't think we actually need wall darts right now. But I keep putting my base up top right here. That way it branches out and then goes down. That should be in range. So if we wanted to put wall darts, it wouldn't actually be too difficult. Gotta throw my drone. I remembered my drone. And yeah, it looks incomplete, but at this point in the mission, you can tell it's not really not really necessary to do anything else. So long as your team is actually doing stuff, it's pretty straightforward. So I guess I'll just do that. I crafted these 2 bows. I went the boring route Archer did, and I have 2 bows now. Well, I wanted to test out the 2 bow, and then I wanted to use the Xenon bow for the crystals, and now I have 2 bows, and they just work. You know, these weapons are very ammo efficient. You can see I have 66 and 84 ammo, and I'm killing mist monsters in front of me in 1 and 2 shots. Like, that is so much efficiency. What's going on? Did you die?
No, look. Do you not hear them?
What? What are we not hearing?
The flingers, lobbers, everything.
Yeah, I've been killing them. What have you been doing, Mr. Farah? Huh? Is the constructor carrying the damage here, Archer? Huh? What's going on? Yeah, he's got nothing to say to that. He's got nothing to say to that. Alright, we got an easy mission defended. Alright, so 50 minutes before the mission next wave, I guess. We got a lot of floor freeze. I just realized none of my regular traps use what floor freeze use. So I'm just going to face them backwards, by the way. Okay, sorry. My house was making a weird noise, and it was water pipes, but it sounded like a crowd cheering. I kind of love that. I want it to happen again. So basically, when you place floor freeze and tire traps, wherever you're facing, the enemies will stumble backwards. So if I place a floor freeze like this, they'll freeze and then they'll stumble in this direction. You know, they'll get frozen and then they'll stagger backwards. And on bigger enemies, that can matter a lot. They will spend significantly more time frozen, and it is a super powerful tool. And I recommend always being conscientious of the direction that you place your floor freeze and your tire traps, because it will make a noticeable difference. On this back one here, I don't want to put a floor freeze. I want to put a, let's see here, a little tar pit. Only going to craft 4 of these because I'm not going to use that many. And I always want to make sure there's an electric field above them. I think a mistake I make when I'm being lazy a lot is I will put a bunch of floor freeze and then there will be like no ceiling traps above it. So the enemies are getting frozen and then hit by nothing. See, even I've done it right here. And you should always have a trap above it just so that they're actually taking damage, because on top of being frozen, you know, they're frozen in place, they're also taking 20% more damage from traps, which is just a lot. 20% more damage, plus we got the extra damage coming from supercharged traps. It adds up to be a very, very useful amount of damage. So now that the enemies are actually getting close, we can go ahead and put in these wall darts. Just gonna put them all on the insides just like that. And then I want to get these wall dynamos that I crafted, and sound walls are down. That is not what I intended, but works just fine. Put that down right there as well. And then we want to make sure that is actually connected, because I want these electric fields, by the way, I want that to be open so they can actually hit the enemies out there. But I also want the base to be able to impact my traps down there, if it'll actually reach. Now, all of this is, of course, assuming that I had the foresight and the memory to actually put my base down, which, of course, I did not. And now there's a defender pad there. Okay, well, let's get up here some. Oh, my God, there are anti-airs everywhere. My teammates are... There's a you put a defender where I want to put my base down, Archer, and I blame you.
That's for flingers.
Yeah, I don't care. My base is for trap damage, but as I've been saying a million times, this mission is not nearly a high enough power level for any of this to make a major difference, but I would recommend to the viewers watching this on YouTube, if you're going to run supercharged traps, maybe consider putting your base down. I'll see you on the next wave. I've just been going around my base here in between the wave, and I'm just making little connections. So like my base is here, I made that little wall connection just so that it goes down and connects to this. That looks like it connects it, but now the base is going over just like this, then it's connecting to that, then that, then that, then that. This little wall takes off a lot of different connections. This is definitely out of range. So as soon as I put that wall down, it didn't really show. Actually, maybe I can edit it just like this because I want to really demonstrate this. I believe the actual effect had gone away. That might be somebody else's base, so it's a little hard to tell. But you can see when it's actually connected, maybe it doesn't visibly change, but this is now being impacted, and it obviously makes a difference because supercharged traps makes traps do more damage. Did you know that? I know. I've only mentioned it 40 times in this video, but I gotta make sure everybody knows. Somebody commented in chat that you can use a ramp here, and I'm gonna do that in this specific instance. I don't generally love doing that because I can edit it here and we can just sort of get to this rat's nest of connections, but that will extend the range. You can see it'll actually go all the way out here. All of these should still be connected to the base. Yeah, so it's a really big distance, and I don't think these are actually going to get hit by enemies. So I'm just going to put floor freeze down. I don't even care. And I don't want to make that same mistake I mentioned I made earlier, so we're going to do that, and that, just to make sure that everything gets hit. But there's a pillar's wave anyway, so it barely matters. But like I said, that ramp should increase the range, as mentioned by the viewer. But that inhibits the mobility of my team, so you got to be careful where you do that. You know, all of this talk about the base expansion is kind of inspiring an idea. So I want to take my base, which is in the middle tile right here. I want to put a ramp that will no doubt mess up Fact Giver. And then I want to put a little arch right here. And I want to see just like, yeah, you can see how we got 2 extra tiles just by sort of being a little careful about our connection. This makes me think of Minecraft. This reminds me back when we used to just do little teeny optimizations like that to make a short-ranged mechanic just reach a little bit further. Sometimes you had to do little stuff like that because redstone only goes 15 blocks, and you really need to get real clever to make sure that that reaches. Of course, in this case, I have committed a stupid because it's actually blocking my trap. But as shown earlier, you can actually get away with just the half ramp, and that should actually hit targets, I think. Honestly, if enemies get to this point, we'll take care of them. I'm not exactly worried. All right. Now we get to see our handiwork. See what we got here. Is this missing because I never put traps down or because they broke? I'm going to assume it's because I never put traps down. And this is, again, just the growing base. And it's cool. With Mega Base being the widest range, even with my teammates' bases down, I can just assume that anything covered by a base out here is covered by my Mega Base, and that means it'll do extra damage. Did you guys know that supercharged traps increases the damage? Yeah, I know, it's crazy. So anything connected to that will be in effect, and I just want to make sure that I get all these covered because, like I've been saying, every single wave we're just going to creep out 1 extra tile. And we are getting way more traps from those balloons in between waves than I can even spend. And if you guys have, you know, been wondering why I'm over trapping, that's why. Because we are just being, especially with my teammates funneling resources, even without that, I've played enough Horde mode to know that, gotta remember my drone, I played enough Horde mode to know that, like, you will get enough traps no matter what. And it's just not really too serious to, you know, min-max everything, so yeah, you can see the base is just going to get bigger and bigger. We are going to have more traps going down than the enemies will break from durability, and that just means our defense will get stronger and stronger, which would normally be really good, but the enemies on wave 15 will be power level 211, and that will still be lower than the lowest power level teammate, which is Fact Giver, and she is 218. Our lowest level teammate right now is not even a low power level, and she's going to be 7 levels higher than the strongest enemies we have to deal with. So, not exactly worried still. Not exactly worried. I don't think there's any way we could possibly lose. You know, just got to jinx it just like that. Frost Knight, I respect. Those smashers get up into the 500s. That's scary. You don't even, unless you're using the discharger, you don't kill power level 500 mini bosses. You run. That's what you do. You bring them off the map. That's the only way you deal with that. But yeah, that was a pretty casual wave. Let's get on to the next one.
Wave 11 and 13 is, but
11 and 13.
Yeah.
So we have another crystal wave coming up, which means this southeast corner is just crystals, crystals. I wanted to mention this to the viewers, you guys, that I was able to, where'd my base go? I was able to get these lit up by connecting these walls, but if it's a crystal wave, I still don't think it's going to matter. Hey, look at that! It actually stayed in our southeast base, and it's not a wave where we have a bunch of. Okay, I just want to craft tire traps, crystals. So we have anti-air traps over here. They should be far enough away. I'm gonna risk it. So I want to use this slope. Of course, we want them to be falling away from the base. So I'm gonna put a ceiling right here. Put a ceiling right there. Put a ceiling right there. And believe it or not, viewers who might not have seen this before, you're not gonna believe me, but I promise you, the enemies will roll up the hill if in this situation. It's crazy how good the tire traps can be. Yep, that's a good spot too. Thank you, Fat Giver. She and I are being very careful to not do what she just did. Never mind. We want to make sure that the enemies spawning up there can't fall down on these. And I think this spot is good too. Yeah. I think that's actually covered by the base. Looks like it's not quite, but this is again where ramps can be super useful. So we can just put a ramp here and a ramp here. Oh, it feels like I'm putting the stairs in Minecraft, and you can see that we've extended the base out an extra couple of tiles, and oop, that is just not what I was trying to do. I'm gonna leave it because at this point it doesn't really matter, like at this range. But that was a oopsie daisy. So we're gonna go ahead. Go over here, place that down. Oh, it's because I don't have any electric field. Yeah, what do you got? What?
Come here, place some gas traps here.
Hang on.
On the north.
I'm busy. I'm busy
Oh, sorry.
failing to put a trap down. Okay, hold on. There we go. Yeah. Ugh, there we are. And I guess we could just put like one random. That's not where I was trying to put that, but fine. You know what? This game fights me so much. It already wants gas traps. That's out of range of the base. I'm actually gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let the enemies come a little closer so they can get hit by the boosted traps. Evalry, did you know that supercharged traps actually increases the damage of traps?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty insane perk. I should make a whole Horde video on it and then lose my mind as the waves go on. Okay. There we go. Hey, we have smashers now. We actually have some difficult enemies. I'm going to put a bunch of tire traps, or whatever those are. Tar traps. Tar traps are just tired, but like with different words. Okay. Do that. Put some floor freeze down. It's kind of cool. I put down all these wooden, by the way. I put down all these wooden structures initially just to sort of play with Thunder Thor in the beginning. I'm gonna now pretend like that was strategy, because now you can accurately map out which floor tiles will be erased by the spawn points and which ones won't. So I can be relatively certain that all of these traps, even this one apparently, is actually perfectly safe. Now it's not in range of my base, but as mentioned, we can kind of fix that by doing this and that. And these should start to light up if they weren't already. Yep. You can see them turning on, I think. That's cool. I kind of like doing that. It's fun. Don't kill me. All right, yeah. And then I can see my tire traps. I want to see enemies rolling up a hill. That's what I want to see. Looks like they just got staggered. Uh-oh. Smasher. Yeah, look at that. He's getting staggered by the tire traps. Oh, yeah. Oh no, bull rushed. We stopped him. Yeah. I'm a decent constructor. Look at, oh, and he's dead. You know, I have not noticed Cyberclops helping at all. I know that I'm not exactly like watching the electric fields closely, but that's part of my gripe with Cyberclops. It's really hard to see when he actually increases that damage. And I said 11.5% earlier, but that was under the assumption that you're actually chaining every 5 hits. Sometimes there just isn't an enemy nearby, and I really feel like even a dead perk constructor and support improving every damage, not just sealing electric fields, by that extra 8% probably would have been more useful, but I don't care. We're already on wave 13, which is another crystal wave, so I guess I'll see you on wave 14. Oh, look at this. Somebody put down a bunch of wall launchers, so I can just go ahead and do that, and oh, we got wall launchers connected to the base. Oh, so satisfying. Also, I know I said I'd see you guys on wave 14, but these crystal waves are actually satisfying. Like, look at this. Oh, yeah. Shooting through so many crystals at once. Oh, it's always a treat. It's always a treat. You know, I complain about these waves being so easy that they barely don't even matter, but, like, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Unless you get to the situation where you have 1 or 2 crystals left and you can't even find them. That's when the waves slow down a little bit, but we'll get it eventually. Some teammate will find it, or a stray will hit it, and that's it. The wave is over. All right, wave 14. Iwari is just loving the idea that I didn't spam a bunch of drop traps and lag out the mission like I've done in the past. Oh yeah, because you're on a decent PC now. That's what you're talking about.
More than decent, Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's all right. It's nothing too crazy.
I don't even,
Hey, Walry, this is where you jump in with the specs.
4090.
I'm calling her crazy high-end overkill PC decent, and she's just sitting there quietly. This is your invitation to jump in and brag about the specs, but
What?
I'm joking. Calling your high-end PC. You have a what? 4090, 5800, 3XD. I only know that because Archer said it so many times. How much RAM?
You can say that.
32 gigs?
64.
Of course, yeah. Why do 32? That'd be practical. God damn. I want...
Yeah, I have a lot of tabs open, so...
You made me think critically about getting a computer upgrade. And I'm still sticking with what I've got. I guess people watching on the video might be curious. Usually my About Me on YouTube has my specs, but maybe you're watching this in 4 years and you care. I'm currently running a 9900K, i9 9900K, 3080, 32 gigs of RAM, which is far more than I've ever need. I waited until I absolutely needed to upgrade my RAM. I'm proud of this, because I didn't just upgrade...
I had to convince him to.
No, he didn't. Nope, Archer was not a part of this. I'm sorry, Archer. I'll tell you what happened. You'll understand in a second. So, here's what happened. I held out at 16 gigs for a long time, and I was streaming with a bunch of tabs open, making a video, rendering something. I was doing all the things, like live rendering a video, editing another, editing a thumbnail in the background. I had way too much open. I have never in my life before or since had this error, but I had programs actually crash, with the error being that I had ran out of RAM and memory came out at the same time. I ran out of memory, which, in my opinion, is when it is finally time to upgrade. It's like, okay, my computer is literally telling me I actually do not have enough RAM. So I went to 32. It was not an expensive upgrade. Well, yeah, 32 gigs is like... I wonder actually, where did my RAM go?
32 gigs now is like $100, but back when you bought it, it was probably like 130, 140.
No, it was cheap. It was cheap. It was like $100. That's why I did it, because I was like, good. It's come down to a decent price, and this is where it should be. I'm just gonna upgrade, because for me, as a full-time content creator, it's just a business expense. I can write it off in my taxes and be like, yeah, I needed RAM. I literally needed RAM. I didn't even want RAM. It's not even like I'm just sneaking this RAM purchase onto my taxes. I didn't want more RAM. 16 was fine. I didn't care. But yeah, I was crashing, so I fixed it immediately. Overnight shipping. Woke up to a kit of RAM, put it into my system, and never looked back. I don't know where that RAM went, because now I'm thinking about it. Like, do I just have 16 gigs of RAM sitting around here? I probably do. I save all my old keyboards. I got a stack of them and other crap.
My Amazon cart is filled for a computer upgrade right now. I'm
Yeah?
going from a Ryzen 5 3600 to a Ryzen 7 5800X3D.
That's so
which
nice.
is the most absolute off-the-wall insane upgrade I could do. Because my graphics card is fine. I have a 3070. This thing is perfect.
Is it
But my
even worth
CPU
crafting a discharger? No. Look how much damage he took from fall damage. That's awesome. The mini-boss took fall damage and died. Bruh. The mini-bosses in Horde mode are made of nothing. You're freezing its corpse. Let it rest. Archer, what's your upgrade? You say off the wall?
My computer at the moment is a Ryzen 5 3600 and a RTX 3070, 32 gigabytes of RAM. and a bunch of just a ridiculous amount of storage in my computer. But my
How ridiculous are we
CPU,
talking?
it's like I think I have like 10 terabytes in my computer, but that's
Nice.
split across different drives.
That's a good start.
But my computer is fine, but the second I try to do any CPU intensive tasks, my CPU is just can't keep up. My current CPU is from 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mid-range CPU from 2019, and I'm going to a high-end CPU from last year.
See,
I think it released last year.
I'm asking because I'm curious, but also because I was saying earlier that after a Walrus upgrade, I thought critically about an upgrade, you know? And we've talked about this on stream, but like any upgrade for me, I'm dead, would be thousands of dollars. It would be a new CPU, new motherboard. It would be a very, very expensive, very, very overkill upgrade. And I also got inspired from a recent Linus Tech Tips video with that $100,000 PC. I was looking at my monitors, and I'm thinking, oh my god, like anything I would want for an upgrade is just not practical. It just cannot make sense. I can't do it. And so I'm stuck. So I get to drink in your guys' upgrades because I'm just not doing it myself. It's more than money. It's effort and time. Like if I wanted to upgrade my main storage drive, now I'm cloning my boot drive. If I want to upgrade a CPU and a motherboard, that means I'm taking my computer out of my desk. 22,000 damage, by the way. Thank you, Factgiver, for coming in. I've never played a game with her before, I don't think. Maybe 160s? I don't know. She joins the dailies every day, so I thought it'd be fun. And it was. But I'd be replacing a motherboard to anybody watching this. I'm accepting this in a Fortnite video, because anybody watching this who's younger and who's never done it, you should be building a PC at some point. That's the way to go. It's the natural upgrade from console if you ever find the money. You'd save up money from a job or something. Replacing a motherboard is the same effort as like building a new computer. You are unplugging everything. It is a huge... It'll burn in the evening, and I don't wanna. So... Anyway, I'm getting by with what I've got right now. You know, I'm recording videos that look fine, and I'm editing just fine, and these are all the rewards. This is what we get. So, I currently have that free pack from Battle Royale, and this XP will help towards that. Oh, thank goodness we ran the new modifier. What was I going to do without those 500 tickets and 15,000 Battle Pass XP? It's brutal. I'm smiling through the pain. Just picture a tear right now. Not even a spray, not a banner, nothing. Just a modifier. But my quest pack should be progressing. I don't even know where it is, but that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. I'll see you guys later. Subscribe. Twitch link down below. This was the pack, by the way. I found it last second. And yeah, Horde mode playlist down below if you guys want to see our other runs.